and enjoy the show. See Rocktor stopping by in there. Nuclear, Pyro main. Alikos was in there earlier. Good to see, and great to see on that shot. Look at that. Tight corner. But Maddie, someone who can play those shot angles as well as anyone. He gets very creative and efficient with it sometimes. He's not afraid to go from in tight angles or kind of weird bounces that you don't see often. Very, very good on the defensive line, but also on the offense, getting it done there. So Denials rolls out here. Bad internet tries for the back pass, but will sail past his teammate. So in quick succession, Aniliwick one extra pass and will by the goal. Bad internet just barely missing out on the save. So technically he'll get credit for the goal instead. But yeah, you saw it right there. In that occasion, Niliwick could have just as easily taken that shot, but it was tight, especially coming in from that bottom corner. A bit tougher of an angle, especially when you have a goalie, not to mention two goalies in there. So that's what Phantoms do. They go for that extra pass. They find the better looking angle, the better percentage shot opportunity, and as a result, they find the points many a times. And they do so there. Maybe again even. Matty one more time. 3 more points, so he has 6 already. Hot start for Phantoms and for Matty. So in the tunnel, Jesters here just trying to collect themselves, organize on this joust. They all stack up together, split off into either tunnel. We've seen this from a couple other teams as well. They just go for 1 into the tunnel and they're usually 2 deep. But really the EU side of things, they have a lot of creative rollouts compared to NA, at least historically. I'd say it's starting to change here as a nice soft pass into even a softer tap. Maddie getting that one in. 10 points quickly. But yeah, the European jousts were always a lot quicker and creative generally. They had I know back in Season 3 when I was watching some of those community matches, they had some creative rollouts where they'd go for kind of bounce plays off the tunnel that would go into the stacked up player in the midfield. I mean, they got creative with it. Now, these days in North America, you're seeing some more creativity on the joust as well from the likes of, Wireless Jacks, Orbit, Nova. NA plus Ultra were kind of one of those first teams in NA to really start pulling out some interesting and unique jousts, using alternative tunnels, things like that. So the game is changing. The meta always evolving here as Lowrider tries to corral the disc and send it deep into a contested pass over to Taco on Thursday. Now Taco finds a down low pass, Denials with a slam to bad internet actually. So great look. And that's a nice looking shot there. Off some team play. Almost thought it was a shot attempt, but yeah, just reaching his teammate right at the last second, and I didn't even see him, just kind of hiding behind the pole almost. That was a good-looking pass. Rocktor saying it was definitely a shot attempt. So was I right the first time? I don't know. Either or. I almost assumed it was a pass just because, honestly, I didn't even see the teammate behind that goalpost until after he caught it. So I assumed it was a shot at first, but then when the grab happened, I'm like, oh, there's a teammate there. Never mind. So, hey, Sundance will take it right here. 2 points for Jesters on the board, but Phantom's looking to maybe build it right back up to a double-digit lead. Great pass, better save. Right in the short range. Those are so tough. So Taco on Thursday with an excellent defensive turnaround. Incredibly difficult coming in from those backboard areas because it's just slow, close quarters. It's hard to really focus and adjust in time, especially when that pass goes out. But Taco got it done. Now Taco looking to get it done on the offensive play, perhaps just playing it patiently, waiting for his teammates to join him on the front. A good dive there. Bouncer of a pass does not reach the hands of anyone he wants, so instead turn over. Now a quick maybe a rush clear there, but luckily Denials recollects just the same, probably thinking his teammate behind him was actually an enemy, hearing him approach on the positional audio. Nuclear is saying, nice save. Definitely. Yeah, always impressed with the goalkeeping skills from players these days. Getting just more and more efficient at it. I mean, in the past, it was always a case where, like when the game first came out, is that shot, there's a save, speaking of, and who else? Lowrider. But yeah, right on Maddie, in fact, I think that shot was. And Maddie, a longtime goalie, one of the better goalies back in the day, especially before goalkeeping was a thing. And Taco on Thursday. Well, that was quite the thing. Off the back. 3 defenders all retreating into the goal, but couldn't get the disc in time. So nice shot from Taco. Softly off that back. You can see the defenders there in the replay arriving right as that disc went through. But yeah, so, I mean, there was a time in Echo Arena, the first year and a half, maybe even a little longer, honestly, where it was just almost a guaranteed goal if you got it into this bubble. If you got those backboard plays or you drove in from the barrier area as a shot just dings out for bad internet. But there was a time where, yeah, it was those passes into bubble, they were guaranteed shots. That one, much guaranteed, apparently, for bad internet. Interesting turn of events there, just a deep anchor. Wow. But, yeah, just to finish off what I was saying, nowadays it's really not the case. More and more you see these offensive players really needing to pull out some variations in their offense, you know, double clutches, up and unders, going for those dunks, things like that. Those head-on plays at goal are just not at nearly as high percentage as they used to be without some extra passes or some extra flair thrown into the shots just to throw off the goalkeepers. So it is a 2-point game. Jesters, just like that. I mean, maybe you wouldn't expect it, especially off that last shot attempt, but yeah, got it done. And it is a close game here. 3 minutes left in round 1. So disc getting just a bit loose. Maddie taking that. Has 2 teammates cutting up front. Strike, cross that out, just one, because one got punched. A Nillywick with the disc and reset. So now a good delivery. Again, the save. Defensive plays all day for Taco on Thursday. So on his namesake day, he is having some amazing defensive plays. Does it again. Taco on Thursday starting to catch fire with the defensive hands. Clamping down on every shot attempt, it seems. And he is having himself quite the game. Now for Jesters, they need to get back. That's the only thing. The defense is fantastic, but they're not getting the disc back is the problem a lot of these times. It's Phantoms first to the disc. We can see it again there, again and again. So, you know, for Jesters, you really want to be able to capitalize on what is a fantastic defensive stand in their bubble. Convert it into some points. Buy yourself some momentum, you know, because with a goal, they could easily tie it here, take a lead potentially, and put Phantoms in a position where they're on their heels for the first time, perhaps, this entire season. Low Rider gives them a reason to step it up. Phantoms down by 1 with 2 minutes left in the first round. Low Rider, credit for that goal, 3 points. So how about this? Phantoms, the undefeated, the 5-0 team. Late, after 8 minutes plus of play, actually down by a point. I don't think anyone expected that. And now maybe finding themselves down more, but ooh, the good recovery from Sundance. And now the stack just as well. So you can see this is, again, a position where, quite frankly, Phantoms are not familiar with yet in Season 1. It's just not often you see them down by points, period. I mean, if I'm correct, I'm fairly sure they've only lost 1 round in this season so far, and that was the Team Gravity in Week 1. So over here, Nillywick will find a goal, and that is very important for Phantoms just to buy themselves a little bit of wiggle room here as they go back up by 1. Still a minute remaining.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
So very timely goal there, just 1 corner and then 1 goal. Finding the open man, just waiting. Biding his time. Right here, that intercept, that's going to be killer if it goes in, especially retained by Taco on Thursday, back tap, and it does actually find the hand of bad internet, so exactly what they want on that play. Not so much on the clear, the pass, but still getting it. Got to be aware, though, from matting the back line, as that just reaches, or goes past the hands, rather, of Torin, and trying to reach the disc is the stack here. Jesters, they do retain, so Jesters have a chance to maybe take this round with a goal here. Bad internet, a tap back, beautifully, but the save from Sundance, just playing deep there in the bubble, going off on the stack, recollecting, sending the shot, and that will end it. So fantastic turnaround for Phantoms, perhaps devastating for Jesters, because Jesters had a great opportunity, but perhaps the shot taken a little too early, and then Sundance just had the amazing hands to grab that out and clear it. So 15-11, round 1. But what a match, what a first round it was. So up to the highlights of that one, and the score right now. Maddie doing work, 11 points. So leading the way on his team easily with that and 17 stuns, just kind of catching fire. Nillywick with 2 points, 11 stuns. Torin, 2 assists. Sundance, 3 assists and a save. Over on Jester's side, it's a bad internet with 5 points, 1 save, 13 stuns. Taco on Thursday, 3 points, an assist, 2 saves. Lowrider, 3 points, 2 saves, 10 stuns. And Denials, an assist and 6 stuns. So very close, and yeah, that would have been even just taking a round off a team like the Phantoms, who've been rolling hard in Season 1. That in itself is an impressive feat, and couldn't complete it. And, you know, in large part to just Phantoms playing some good defense there and being fast on those boosts. I mean, that's the problem with Phantoms if you're going against them, is just they really know how to compose themselves. And like I said, they play it fast when they need to play fast. They play it slow when they need to play slow. And it seems like when they need those crunch time goals, they just find a way to make the plays happen. And they did right there. So right now, for Jesters, even though you're probably not feeling great about the results of that first round when you feel like you had it almost locked down at the very end, hopefully for them, they can just keep the good mentality, keep the flow to their defense and their offense especially. You know, the defense was rolling. Their offense, they started getting it working a little bit towards the last couple minutes. And you want to see them just progress on that, not regress based off maybe an upsetting loss. Because right now, going up by 2 on this attempt will be Sundance. So right there, throwing in the variety, the swings, kind of windmilling it around before he found the inside of the goal.
10, 9, 8, 7.
And yeah, going to chat real quick. It was Rocktor at the end of that round saying, yeah, that was their game, and Al Pacino saying great game or great round. Sputnik stopping by as well. Good to see him and all of you guys. Now, Nillywick lets loose the disc. Torin is on the approach, a tap down that's going to be risky, but Denials does manage to squeeze it out of there as Lowrider just tries to look for some grabs, but once again, first back, Phantoms. So up by a couple points here, as well as the first round victory. Torin just going to bide his time. You can see that, just playing a little bit of Matador with the defensive stack and just buying themselves yet again more opportunities to spend a little time and as importantly as anything, not expend too much energy. You know, they want to go for these efficient plays. That said, kind of an unforced turnover there, and we'll have Denials taking that deep shot. Couldn't find the first one, and grabbing it back is Maddie. Sputnik saying the Phantom's bubble offense is refreshing to watch. Yeah, and the thing is, as they go in for that boost here off a Sundance goal, it's like I was saying, though, Sput, for Phantoms and Team Gravity just as well. They're two teams who are just another level of quick on the stacks and the boosting, but both of those teams really do know how to play bubble offense and how to stall out at times when they need to. So it's really a mix of fast and slow when you're talking about, you know, these long-time teams with great chemistry like Team Gravity, Phantoms. Mentioning before the stream started how, you know, they're kind of the only two teams really who've been together for longer than half a year or so right now. So at the top level at least, and Taco on Thursday gets a shot there. Because I was mentioning, you see those high-level teams each season of, like ESL, whether it was, you know, Blast or Backlash in the past or Jax or all those different teams that were competing at the top, you would always see these frequent roster changes mid-season sometimes or in the off-seasons. And I've said before, I feel like that's kind of cost them some good opportunities at potentially winning those world championships at those lands before, because I know I said to myself in Season 3 even, just, those teams, Ouroboros at the time, looking like great contenders, a team, Gravity as well. But then you have these roster changes, and it just, even though there's still changes among top players, whenever you do change that roster, it inevitably has an effect on the chemistry. So I don't think it's a coincidence that the teams that have stuck together the longest are typically the ones who find themselves in those top 3 or 4 slots season to season. I mean, you look at Smash Dash. They've been a lot of their players been together for a good while, and they're always competing there at the top level, right on that edge of top 4, top 3. Look at that save again. Taco on Thursday is just having himself an awesome night on the defense. Crazy plays. He's going to get the disc, go for a deep one that might just reach the hands of Torin, however. But yeah, right now, super impressed by Taco, looking good. Now that goal looking potentially good, just off the bottom, so barely on the miss. Nillywick looking for his teammates. He has one, stunning the goalie, going off the backboard, trying to hit that pyramid shot, unable to, so Bad Internet retains it, sends it to the bottom pockets, where a couple players will pile up and ultimately play it patiently. There you go, Phantoms. That's a situation where they easily, as the shot goes in, easily for Nillywick. But that shot, that pass from the bottom pocket, that's one of those things where a lot of other players or teams with the defense nearby, you would see them just make a quick panicked clear, a panicked pass somewhere else. But no, Nilly saw Sundance up here, and he, let me replay that for you too. But he saw Sundance up there, went for the careful, calculated pass, and what happened? It bought themselves a nice goal opportunity right in the backboard. High percentage shot, and that's why Phantoms are so good at what they do. Right now, Bad Internet going through though. Good shield, and the recovery enables a 2-point shot, and it's a 2-point match still here in round 2.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so on the rollout here, Sundance. Apologies for those brief moments of silence because hydrated myself on water. A lot of talking with this fast action, and it's been an exciting game, as I said. For those tuning in, because I see the numbers popping up a little bit. That first round, Jesters were looking so good. Made a late game effort to go up by 1 with about 2 minutes left. But then Phantoms came through with some clutch defense, some stacks that did, in fact, enable the win very late. Right now, again, backing out. Patience. Absolute patience. Calculation. And right there, finding Torin on his favorite station for another couple. But it's great team play, and they're never really rushed, it seems like, for Phantoms to do more than they have to. They're always looking for extra passes, and if they don't like the shot that they got, they're starting to drive it into the bubble, and they think, this isn't a great shot, it's an okay shot. And when that happens, they're perfectly fine with backing it out and then trying again. Clock is on their side. Especially in most of these matches where they do have those leads, firmly for most of these matches. They can well afford to waste some time, which is why I was saying once the Jesters took that lead in the first round, you saw the Phantoms. It was kind of a test because they weren't used to playing from behind. And despite the fact that they got a little bit scrambled on a couple possessions, they still ultimately recovered. And that's what bought them the win. So, gotta hand it to them. But just the same, for those who also didn't tune in during the first round, Taco on Thursday has been having an amazing Thursday. Definitely deserves some tacos for his effort because he's had some just really incredible saves right in front of the goal over and over. And that's really what helped keep his team in that round and enable him to take the lead for a while. Now that said, losing the disc, both of them in fact, and that is very tough. Looked like maybe it was off the head first of his teammate. So trying to go for a clear and boost, but one of those unforced ones that kind of turn into a killer shot, one of those momentum bursting ones for you, because now up by 6 points are Phantoms, and those ones do not make you happy. But unfortunately, it's something that happens, regularly. It's not uncommon to have those bounces off teammates' heads if you're not careful. So, Want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers as we view that shot go through for Sundance, says Divasaba. Followbot.not. Now, if I was on top of modding duties, I would probably address that at the moment, but instead, I for some reason gave you a shout out. Why did I do that? Anyway, off it goes on the joust. I don't want more followers. Who do you think we are? We're not trying to build viewership here. Silly bot. As Sundance takes a shot, but off the dot. Now, Tuck on Thursday takes us away. Down low it goes. To the bottom of the ramp, a quick snap from both teams, just missing the hands initially of Nillywick. So actually, bad internet, and Denials take that back. On the offense here for Jesters, they're down by, 9 points, so not exactly in great position compared to where they were about 12 minutes ago. But still looking to close this round out strong if they can. At the moment, Phantom's trying to deny it, but here it goes. Denials, speaking of, looking pass to the corner, tightly woven, great save there. Couldn't tell if it was Maddie or Torin. So I'll just give credit to you both. And that deep shot, fade away, almost looking good, honestly. But regardless, down to the bottom, taken here by Sundance. One more extra pass, and with not a lot of time left, maybe an opportunity at one more shot. That bounce pass off, Torin the intercept, and right back to Sundance it goes. 9 seconds left, looking at a play. Sundance dancing all over the Geo. And he will go down to Maddie for one more game-ending shot. Torin, 15-4, ending it the way that they played this entire game, basically, with a great assist, passing play, and one last one to cap it off. So 15-4 in round 2. Hats off to the Jesters for really some great play in round 1. Round 2, just Phantoms kind of breaking away there a bit, but they showed some great potential and great signs there. So, and it goes all back to what was I saying just a few minutes ago about the team chemistry, about keeping teams together. Well, for Jesters, like I mentioned, as we have 0 stats to really show you, so unfortunate, but Jesters, as I mentioned, 3/4 of their team played together last season, last preseason. I always say last season, but 3/4 of the Jesters did play on the same team, Toxic Units, in the preseason. And again, just building on that chemistry, letting their roster kind of stew and get to really get a great feel of each other and develop their plays. So like I said, the more I think teams find each other and find those actual stable rosters over a sustained amount of time, the more success they're usually going to have by the end of it in what is otherwise a really volatile roster scene. And not that I'm criticizing that specifically, because sometimes it does take a while to find the right fit. You're not always going to get the perfect puzzle pieces of teammates right off the bat. Sometimes it does take a few teams to find your place. But ideally, once you find a team that you are comfortable with and you do feel like you gel with decently, not always trying to look for someone just a little bit better. Sometimes the team chemistry will just greatly outweigh the benefits of maybe getting a slightly better individual. So it's something to be aware of whenever you're forming your teams and your rosters and things like that. But Jesters showing some good signs, and hopefully they stick together and continue to build themselves into maybe a future, top team, top 3 or 4 team right there. All right, so with that said, that is our game. That is our 2 matches for the European side of things. It's Vibers and Vertigo first up about an hour ago. Vertigo taking that win. And then, of course, here, Jesters and Phantoms. Phantoms just continuing their roll. They are now 6-0 in Season 1. They've lost all of 1 round, period, across all these matches. Unless I'm mistaken, I could be. I'm pretty sure I'm not. And now the question is simply, who's going to take them down? And what is it even going to take the Phantoms down? But here, we'll look at the schedule real quick because we do have 6 North American games coming up later today. Plenty of them. So we're starting off at 7:30 Central Time, 6:30 Mountain Time, as you can see there. But Mountain Time is weird, so I usually don't say it. Everyone in North America typically goes by Central, so I just kind of default to it. But yeah, Flair versus SSVC Legends. to start that off on the night. And actually, at the same time, it'll be Nay plus Ultra and Genesis. And following that, we have Reboot and 6 Foot Over, Chaos and SSBC Legends again, and then Wireless Jax and Nova, followed by Reboot and Space Force. So quite a few games, several of them kind of stacked on each other in terms of time slots, so I'm not 100% which ones we're casting for sure. Hopefully we can get some more camera people in and rally together some casters and get these all done. But yeah, at the moment, not sure which of these will be casted specifically beyond Wireless Jax and Nova, because I had made a promise back in preseason that I would not miss the next Wireless Jax and Nova match, and I won't. Excited for it. Anyway, all right. So that will be just about it. Nuclear is saying, well, gonna have dinner. See you guys. Take care. Same to you. And Sputnik's Spanish failing him mightily. Now, before all is said and done, let me see. I've not ever had to actually take mod actions before on Twitch. I'm just saying, let me see if I can do something about this message. Not because it's necessary, but why am I having so much trouble? Can I not take mod action from the Twitch dashboard? Help me, stream, help me. I don't even know. Well, I'm a lost cause, so it shall remain there, I guess. Anyway, I am Palidore. This has been VR Master League. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again real soon. Later tonight, I hope. Have yourselves a good afternoon and evening.